Okay, hello everyone. Thank you all for coming to join us for this Maitreya Bodhisattva birthday celebration. And this is the first Dharma assembly for the year for us. Thank you. The time is short, so let's see, what can we talk about? Well, I'll look at the familiar faces here. I like to recognize a couple of faces who made it to second stage Arhat. Two of them. I forgot to mention over the Chanchi, And then, so anyway, so practice on, left home people. They're going to become enlightened before you do, at the rate they're going. Huh? All right, good job. Maitreya Bodhisattva is the incoming Buddha, as most of you know. He started way before Shakyamuni Buddha. He brought forth the Bodhi mind. That's in Buddhism, that's when we count. That's the only time we count, is when you bring forth the Bodhi mind. Okay? You come and learn meditation, learn to recite the Buddha's name, that's okay. But it doesn't matter until you say, I bring forth the Bodhi mind. Okay? San Jose people, are you paying attention? You have to bring forth the Bodhi mind. That's only when it starts counting. Bring forth the Bodhi mind 42 kalpas before Shakyamuni Buddha brought forth the Bodhi mind. And yet, Shakyamuni Buddha became a Buddha way before Maitreya. Maitreya still has to wait. He's going to wait for quite a while until it's his turn to come down here and be the incoming Buddha. Hey, that's the second stage Arhat there, who've been practicing in the parking lot. All right. See, let me tell you, we have so many Dharma doors in the Buddha hall, the parking lot, in the bathroom. Anyway, so and why so? Why did Shakyamuni Buddha surpass Maitreya Bodhisattva? It's the same spirit now, because I'm hoping you lay people will surpass my left home people. Just teach them a lesson. These left home people are very lazy, They're looking for fame, looking for temples, and so forth. Search them right. That's what Maitreya used to do. He used to rub elbows with the rich and powerful. Whereas when Shakyamuni Buddha was diligently cultivating, receiving training, Maitreya was all the good reasons in the world, shaking hands with the rich and powerful instead of cultivating, and that's why he fell behind. So eventually, Shakyamuni Buddha took over and surpassed him, and I hope that you will surpass me as well. because this is the chance for you, because I'm too busy trying to help people. Okay? I have way too many commitments. As Master Shiva used to say, you wouldn't believe it. One of my, not even my own disciple, someone else's disciple, who has been getting help from me for the last 5-6 years, called me something like a dozen times last night. So it's just too much work. That's why this is equivalent to rubbing elbows, rich and powerful. She's very rich too, by the way. So you have a chance, all of you, to surpass me, just like Shakyamuni Buddha surpassed Maitreya. Okay? All right, any questions or comments? There's not much time to talk about anything substantial. Yes, somebody timidly raise a hand. Yes, green.
It's a reminder, the temple will be closed next weekend.
Oh, yes.
There will be no lectures next weekend?
Yes, that's right. This next weekend is New Year's, Lunar New Year's celebration. So we'll be closing the temple to celebrate ourselves. We don't want to be a super spreader. Okay? So it's only for our people, right? Not for outsiders. Yes, not outsiders. Only for our followers. So next weekend, no lectures, no Dharma assemblies, only celebrations. Cube, yes. Cube,
Master.
Yes. Yeah.
Could you explain what is the inner court of Dou Shai Tian? And then I think some people say Master Xu Yun went there after he died, or some of his disciples did that. Do you know why?
Explain what? I missed the first
inner
part.
court of the Maitreya Bodhisattvas, like Dou Shai Tian Nei Yuan.
Oh, okay. What time is lunch? Sorry, I got distracted. You're going to do the lunch ceremony, right? Master, before I answer the question, the old monk, is at the level now where he can substitute me in a lot of functions. So for example, you can stand there, because I assure you, no one comes anywhere in this area comes close to your level. So we don't want to do overkill, huh? So you should have at least 10 temples under your own command. Okay, we only give you a small temple up north. That's how humble you are, huh? But it's not the quantity, it's the quality of those people we give you, superior people. All right, Maitreya, as by tradition, all future Buddhas would wait for their turn to become a Buddha at the Tushita heaven, which is the fourth heaven in our desire realm. So he's been waiting there until it's time for him to come down here, when it's ripe for people to receive his teachings. Okay, so that's why, and when he's ready, he'll come down and will teach people and he will actually cultivate. How long would he have to cultivate? Does anyone know? Quickly, we don't have a lot of time. We need to get ready for lunch. Give you a clue. How long? Can you count fingers? Are you in samadhi? 7 what? Can't even count fingers. It's incredible. All in samadhi. 7 what? No one knows? Good Lord, you disciples, who disciples are you? 7 days. He would become a Buddha in 7 days. And he would live like 80,000 years, but he will become a Buddha in 7 days. Cool. We can, that's why he would teach one day, one night, and so many people would become enlightened. That's slow for them. And you've been practicing for decades, and you're still not enlightened yet. Anyway, so he'll come down here and become a Buddha within 7 days and cross over countless living beings, bodhisattvas, arhats, practical Buddhas, and so forth. So why in Buddhism the Tushita heaven is considered a Pure Land as well? Okay, and actually many people have aspired to go up there themselves, like Venerable Xu Yun, to go up there. When Venerable Xu Yun was killed by the Chinese in China, he said, "Oh, this is so great! Now I'm free at last." And he went up to Tushita heaven. So he sat down when Maitreya Bodhisattva was speaking Dharma. He sat down so happy and crossed his legs and listened in bliss. And Maitreya was speaking Dharma and looked and opened his eyes and said, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And Xu Yun says, I couldn't wait to draw near you. I couldn't wait to draw near a good no advisor. So that's why I'm here. Maitreya says, "Out you go, back." So he sent him right back. Didn't even allow him to stay 1 day. Okay, immediately he says, "Your job is not done yet. How can you be so selfish?" So he sent him right back, and at the time, I wasn't sure as the communists or the Chinese communists or the Chinese robbers, maybe bandits, not communists yet. They came to the temple where Xu Yun was staying and robbed the temple, and was during times of big chaos in China. So there's lots of bandits, and they would go to the temple and rob temple because the temples have gold, We don't. Why don't we have gold? Hey, old monk, how come we don't have gold? God, make me feel so sad to be so poor. Anyway, so very Xu Yun temple has no gold. They robbed me, so they beat him. They said they didn't believe him when he said he was an abbot then. He said, "Where is the gold?" And very Xu Yun says, "It's all gone. I've been robbed. I don't believe. You wouldn't believe how many times we've been robbed." And so it's all gone. And the bandits didn't believe him, so they beat him and keep on beating him and torture him. And it's very Xu Yun. It's very tough. He never said anything. He never said, stop, you're hurting me. Please spare me. No, he says, so these robbers, the bandits keep beating him, thinking that, he's not going to die, because people usually beg for their lives. Okay? And Mary Xu Yun didn't say anything, so he beat him to death. So he passed out. So the disciples cried, put him on the altar, and prayed for him. Meanwhile, he went up to Tushita heaven, and Maitreya looked at him and said, "Get out of here! Get out of here!" So immediately, Maitreya sent him right back and says, "Your job is not done. The second patriarch is not ready yet." You see, you are the current patriarch. I mean, not the second patriarch. The incoming patriarch is not ready to take over yet. That's why you have to go down there. You cannot come up here. Because Mary Xu Yun says, you're the best teacher I could find. So that's what the Spirit Mahayana, you look for the best good no advisor you could find. And no one will blame you. No one would stop you. A decent teacher would never stop you from looking for a good no advisor. Okay? A good no advisor. So that's why he had to go back here, and because Maitreya, as soon as he saw Xu Yun, kicked him right down. So in Earth time, it's like only a few days, and he woke up. And that's how Xu Yun was revived. Okay? So yes, he did go and see Maitreya, and he was too excited to see Maitreya. And then, is that a Pure Land? Yes, it's in Buddhism. Tushita heaven is considered a Pure Land. However, I don't recommend we go there. It's not as good as Amitabha Buddha's Pure Land. Number one thing that interests me is that you go to the Pure Land of Tushita heaven, you will not become a Buddha in one lifetime. Not possible. Life there is 4,000 years. A year, a day, there is about 400 years here. Okay, they have 30 days in 1 month, they have 12 months in 1 year. So you multiply and do the math. Hey, what happened to Kimchi girl? Okay, you multiply. So the lifespan there is about maybe a few 100 million years. It's still not enough for you to become a Buddha. It's not. So it's not possible for you to become a Buddha. So even though it's a Pure Land, yes, it's pure and all those things, free from the suffering and so forth, but we don't recommend you go there. Okay, you're much better off going to the Pure Land in Amitabha Buddha, Pure Land, and it's, to me, it is much easier for you to go to the Pure Land Amitabha Buddha than Tushita, because Amitabha's job is to bring you there. Maitreya's job is not to bring you up there, so it's not as favorable in terms of cultivation. Yes, YouTube has a question.
Master, how long is 1 day at Maitreya's time?
1 day is 400 years, our Earth days. Okay, 1 day in Tushita heaven is 400 years. The average lifespan of the gods up there is 4,000 of their years. You do the math. Someone quickly, you take 400, multiply by 30, multiply by 12, that's 1 year. Multiply by 4,000, that's the lifespan. How many years is that? Yes. 480 billion years. It was off by 1,000. Okay? 480 billion years. It's still not long enough for you to become a Buddha, trust me. It's a little bit longer, take a little bit longer than that. Maybe 5 billion, gazillion kalpas. Okay? Yeah. All right. Any other questions? No? Okay. So, yes, Pink.
Was Maitreya Buddha in the Saha world before Shakyamuni Buddha?
No, he'll come after. He's not a Buddha yet. Okay? Shakyamuni Buddha has been a Buddha already, and Maitreya isn't. So Maitreya Bodhisattva fell behind because he took the wrong path. Yes, Cube.
Mô Phật, dạ thưa Thầy, một hành giả tu tập có thể nào tự biết mình tiến bộ hay là thoái bộ? Làm thế nào để biết hay là phải chờ thiền tri thức chỉ dạy?
Can you know by yourself when you progress or regress? Eventually you find out. Gradually you learn. Typically, the most teachers don't even know themselves because their mind is not on making progress. I've been beating into your brains that you're supposed to make progress. So that's why eventually you will see for yourself. You will be able to quite often see you made progress. The reason I tell you is to laugh at those losers. No, I'm kidding. When I first started, my master's disciple said, "This guy seems to be okay." So because they came and asked them, because they're the expert, you see, they said, "This guy teaching Chan, is that okay?" They said, "Yeah, it's okay, very low level." I laughed. I said, "Look who's calling who low level." And I didn't know what I was doing, of course. Didn't know how to teach you how to recite the Buddha's name. I had to figure everything out myself, how to teach Chan and all those things. Because I never saw my master teach anything, so I had to figure it out myself. I never saw him teach anyone except teaching me. But for some reason, our people progress very quickly, and so I said, "Wow, I need to find something, a way to urge them on." So I pointed out to them their level, and I would inform them of their progresses. And that's why whenever they make progress, I would tell them, and then the other people would say, "Oh, he's revealing, he's bragging or whatever." So, but it's not for anyone else, but my disciples, so that they know, they will verify themselves. So, and it serves two purposes. Number one is that it's an encouragement, because at each level, once you go to the next level, whether you recite the Buddha's name, you also are supposed to improve. Okay? Shakyamuni Buddha's Dharma is a Dharma of improvement. Every single Buddha's Dharma is a Dharma of improvement. We teach you, we guide you to these practices in order for you to improve. That's our jobs. We give you protection so that you can improve. You cannot improve without protection. Not unlike we need protection from the National Guard, from the police, from the firemen, for us to practice. Without them, we can't practice. Same thing. In a spiritual environment, we need to provide protection for them to improve. Because when your karmic retributions come, you cannot defend yourself. We need to help you. Is it clear? Your karmic retributions come, you are overwhelmed. There's nothing you can do. Just like the other night, night after night, I watched a young man, make a fool himself. Okay? During the Chan Chi Dharma talks, he screamed, he yelled, he cried, and he would give up, and would spit or barf and all those things. And what are you doing to yourself? And I finally I said, well, maybe it's time to help him a little bit. I pointed out to him that his problem is not real. It's an attack from a depression ghost. Okay? And that's a form of protection right there. If he were to be left on his own, I assure you, probably another 20 years before I can make progress. Even if he grinds it out, like the way we teach you, it'll be another 10 years, 20 years. Looking at him, probably 20 years. So it's the kind of protection you need. Without protection, you can't make progress. Let me assure you. It's not as simple as you think. Okay? So anyway, so eventually you can figure out yourself, because that's point number 2. That is, eventually, once you continue to make progress and your mind is on making progress, you will be able to figure it out yourself. And we'll remind you and we'll teach you how to recognize it. Okay? Okay, YouTube has a question. Oh, time is running out very quickly.
Jesus asks, Master, is it necessary to make a formal declaration to bring forth the Bodhi mind?
It's best you make the bring forth the Bodhi mind in front of a good no advisor. Especially, all you have to do is to say, I'd like to attain Bodhi in front of the Buddhas and Bodhisattva. That's the best way to do it. Then they'll help you. Okay? All right, anything else? Well, the rest of the talk, we have to wait until next year. How's that? Time is up. Okay? Finally, let me ask you this question, okay? Because somebody asked about Maitreya and Venerable Xu Yun, and Venerable Xu Yun is so eager to go up to the heaven, to seek the heaven. He couldn't wait to draw near a good no advisor. That is a very important teaching right there from a patriarch. This patriarch here is like a king in our world. He's an emperor in our world. Okay? Okay. Well, at least a king. And he himself says, this means nothing. I know of a great good no advisor called Maitreya. Someone will draw near him. Okay? So when he was beaten to death, he was so happy, let me assure you. It's so goody, now I get to draw near my favorite good advisor. Okay. So, should we practice his Dharma then? Or should we practice Shakmini Buddha's Dharma? I ask you. It's a great no advisor right there, within reach. Fourth desire heaven. It's not that far. Up there. You open your eyes. Should we practice that Dharma or Shakmini Buddha's Dharma? Old monk. What do you think? See? You have to learn to speak Dharma around me, impromptu, no preparation.
Con không có biết là có khả năng lên Phật Di Lặc hay không, nhưng mà bây giờ là tụi con gần thầy thì thầy dạy cái gì học cái đó.
Oh, he's such an ass kisser. Blue.
I'm not really sure if I am capable of going up there, but now I'm close to you, so I will listen to your teaching.
I asked you this because I remember when I was searching for a good no advisor, because after my master died, I wanted to learn how to meditate. I wanted to learn how to recite the Buddha's name. So I said, who's a good no advisor I have to look for? And I remember going to the CTTV, one of those things, I met one of Master YongHua's old-time disciples, a Caucasian gentleman. And he looked at me and said, oh, so you one of the last disciples he accepted? Yeah. And he says, so he talked about what he does. He says, I worship Maitreya Bodhisattva. I worship Maitreya Buddha. Okay, it's time. Okay, I can't wait for him to come down here and teach us. So and he's smart, because it is said if you get to meet him when he comes down here, you manage to make that happen, you become enlightened. There's no need to go to the Pure Land, folks. Huh? You become enlightened. That's it. Okay? Guaranteed. So he says, I'm going to pave my way to, prepare for his coming down. Very clever. Yes? Think about it, old monk.
Sách nói theo thời gian của trái đất mình á, Đức Phật Di Lặc ra đời tới là 16 triệu mấy trăm ngàn năm nữa luôn.
Yes.
Và bây giờ mình đi
16
tắt
more
lên
million years. We have to wait.
Dạ. Trong khi đó mình cao lắm mình sống 20 năm, 30 năm. Người trẻ đó, còn như con thì 10 năm, 5 năm nữa. Thì gặp Phật Di Đà chẳng nhanh hơn. Tức là mình hết đời này mình giảng sanh lên kia, Đức Phật Di Đà cũng vậy thôi.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. This guy is smart. Smart old monk. He says that, think about it. Maitreya was not going to come down here for 16 more million years, based on the calculation, Buddhist calculation. You have to wait for 16 million more years before he'll become a Buddha. And you live for how many more years? He says he lived another 10 years, and you live another 20 years. Younger, probably a little bit longer, Okay, so why would you want to wait for Maitreya Bodhisattva? Go to the Pure Land right now at the end of your life. You have the best teacher in the whole universe, in Amitabha Buddha. Very good. That's why. That's one reason why you want to go to the Western Bliss Pure Land and not Maitreya Pure Land. All right? Because you're much better off. It's much better for you, and you have much better chance right now. Okay? If you, let's say this lifetime you die, you can choose between Maitreya Tushita Heaven and Western Bliss Pure Land. Definitely, hands down, go to the Western Bliss Pure Land. Okay? All right, thank you very much. We stop here because time is running out. We need to do lots of reference transferences for medicine master and so forth. Okay, so thank you all.